Are you looking for sealed product and singles? You can find it all on Channel Fireball. Please use my Tailmon affiliate code when checking out to help support my content. Looking for PTGO codes? Potown Store has all the latest sets and promos, instantly delivered to your email. You can use Tailmon code when checking out for 5% off. If you're from Europe, Millipots Gaming has a wide array of sealed products, singles, and more. You can use Tailmon code when checking out for 5% off. Want to show off your love for Tailmon? Check out my 2021 merch. These new hoodies and shirts are available on Amazon. Click on the link in the description to get yours. Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new Tailmon video. We're going to be doing something different from now. As since you clicked, you probably realized that we're going to be doing something different because of the thumbnail. I'm going to try and review the newer cards, talk about them competitively as they get revealed from the combat style set, or battle style set, sorry, that's coming out in March. Props to PokeBeach for the translations of the cards. There's a lot of interesting ones in this batch that just got released. So I figured let's go over them. So Kricketune V, yeah, pretty cool card, pretty cool looking card. I'm sure like if you've played the Diamond and Pearl games, you immediately hear the sound of Kricketune in your head. Very peculiar sound. And has a pretty cool ability, right? Reminds us of Oranguru from Sun and Moon, where once your turn, you may draw cards until you have 3 cards in your hand, and if this Pokemon is in the active Pokemon, in the active spot, you may draw until you have 4 cards instead. Now, you can only use one stage Elation during each turn, but it's nice to have a bench sitter right there, especially nice when you get Reset Stamp to 1. Then it helps you recover from that. We have been seeing Seal Valley GX being utilized in Centiskorch for that same purposes. I would not be surprised to see Seal Valley GX suddenly start being splashed into other decks as well. But Kricketune is a pure basic Pokemon, so I would expect Kricketune to take Seal Valley GX's place in the future, in the near future, right? When the February set comes out. Next up we have Cherrim, a really cool stage 1 Pokemon. Spring Bloom ability. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a grass energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, except Pokemon with rule box. So Pokemon with a rule box are V Pokemon, EX Pokemon, GX Pokemon, VMAX. All of those have a rule, therefore you cannot attach to them. So we don't know yet, but I fully expect some like really broken non-V Pokemon to come out. Grass Pokemon to come out sometime soon, which will be paired with Cherrim's ability, and it'll require a lot of grass energies, but you have free attachments all the time, and so it should be we should be getting some sort of combo there. A good single prize attacker, perhaps a good single prize grass deck coming soon. I guess we'll find out, right? I guess we'll find out. Or like if there's colorless Pokemon or other Pokemon that don't have too heavy energy requirements, it doesn't have to be to grass Pokemon, it's just grass energy. So you could end up powering up other stuff. So we'll see if we start getting better single prize attackers, right, to power up. Now next up we have Victini VMAX getting released, a brand new Victini V as well, which does a little bit of extra damage to regular V Pokemon. Pretty cool art. For this one and the VMAX. The VMAX actually looks pretty dorky and cute. The first attack of the VMAX is actually the same attack as the other Victini V that got released in Sword and Shield, the regional set, which is really weird to see. This Victini V is definitely worse than the other one. The other one has way more damage potential and doesn't discard the energy. But Victory Max does 100 damage, and if their opponent's Pokemon is a V, does 120 more. Honestly, not a very impressive card overall. Like it could be good in the Sword and Shield format to deal with Samazenta sensations, because the Victini V deals very nicely with Samazenta, and this guy deals very nicely with Zacian V. However, in the current standard format, it feels like a very underwhelming card, so I don't expect it to see play over Centiskorch or over even Cinderace VMAX feels better than Victini VMAX. Next up we have Tapu Koko VMAX and the Tapu Koko V, a brand new Tapu Koko V. Now this one does have a retreat, hits 40 for a single energy, and then does Spiral Thunder, 20 damage plus 40 more for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. That could be good in different scenarios, like it could be very punishing, for example, in a Pikachu mirror match after they have used Full Blitz, so there is some potential right there with this attack. However, Tapu Koko VMAX, I think this is a really cool combo with the Electrode that came out in Vivid Voltage. You blow up the Electrode, you power up the Tapu Koko VMAX, and therefore you are behind in price cards, and therefore you paralyze your opponent's Pokemon. Now, I do expect Switch to remain a staple as a 4-off, and I do expect Bird Keeper to be played in higher counts once we have Sword and Shield onwards. Right now it's not too big, but obviously Paralysis is always good, and it's a good comeback potential. And it's also a stage 1, right, or a VMAX, an evolved Pokemon, therefore it could have, or it could apply some pressure to things like Obstacle, right, which is usually a tough matchup for, or a tough Pokemon to deal with for Pikachu decks. Next up we have Mimikyu, probably the most interesting card. With its mechanics, its ability, Dummy Doll tries to simulate the disguise it has in the video game, where you can use this ability when you play this card from your hand onto your bench, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, you prevent all damage done to his Pokemon. So even sending it to the bench doesn't help. It can't be damaged for a single turn, and then you put 3 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon for each prize card your opponent has taken. So the really good ability is balanced by a very, very mediocre and bad attack. So it probably won't see any play, but hey, it's an interesting card, right? Next up we have Primeape. Its double fighting energy cost is actually very prohibitive. Otherwise, it could have been good. It could have been a good combination with something like Donphan, where this attack does 50 damage for each of your bench Pokemon with any damage counters on them. So you could use Donphan to damage yourself and then Primeape to follow up, but the double fighting energy cost is a little too prohibitive. However, in the standard format, there is merit to having the Primeape available because of Expert Belt, Karate Belt, right? Which reduces your attack cost by 1 fighting if you are behind. So perhaps Primeape will be a good Pokemon to utilize with Spiritomb or Donphan, or even both. Probably not both, but maybe to have a high hitting Pokemon. That single price, right? Next up we have Phalanx, doing 20 damage for each of your Rapid Strike Pokemon in play for 2 energies, doing 120 damage at this point. That's just not good enough for a single prizer. Next up we have Bronzong, a really interesting card. Seems like Bronzong is a favorite of Pokemon, and they always give it interesting abilities, interesting things to do. Its ability, Metal Trance, you can move 1 Metal Energy from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. So right off the bat, that combines really, really nicely with the supporter Cheryl, which we have right here. Cheryl, you heal all damage for each of your evolution Pokemon, and then you discard all energy attached to a Pokemon you healed in this way. So if you're playing something like Aegis/VMAX or Scizor VMAX or even Copperage or VMAX, you can move the energy around off of the damaged Pokemon, play Cheryl, heal your really big and tough VMAX to take down, and then you put the energy back on your back where you start with a fresh VMAX. So I definitely see that being a solid combination in the future, maybe even something like Cinccino, Bronzong, VMAX Metal Pokemon, I don't know, but there seems to be some potential there. Next up we have the Escape Rope reprint, a very welcome card. I actually used this card today in a tournament in Expanded. So very welcome card, an extra way to switch out along with Switch. So I guess weakening things like Tapu Koko VMAX's Paralysis. I do expect decks to play a balance of something like 3 switches to Escape Ropes, 3 Escape Ropes to switches, depending on what else you're running, but I do expect Escape Rope to see play immediately. Next up we have the Tool Jammer, pretty cool art, pretty interesting art. And as long as this Pokemon is attached to, this is a tool that if it's attached to your Pokemon in the active spot, your opponent's Pokemon tool cards do not work, right? So where is that relevant? Cape of Toughness doesn't work, or Balloon doesn't work. So that is something that your opponent might have to play around, especially disabling Cape of Toughness and Big Charms in the future Sword and Shield format seems pretty relevant. Also, EXP Share is getting a reprint, therefore disabling that could come into play in an important way once we get the new Combat Styles set. Combat Styles? Did I say it right, or is it just Battle Styles? Battle Styles. I don't know why I keep calling it Combat Styles. Anyways, 4 new supporters revealed. I already talked about one of them, Cheryl, but we have Karina's Motivation, which is similar to Cynthia's, an older supporter, really old, like 2010 old, over 10 years ago. Actually, no, that's not the one. It's Bruno, the one that's the reprint. Karina's Motivation is Lily. Lily's back. You draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. I guess it's worse than Lily because you don't get the bonus effect if you're going first, because you can no longer play supporters anyways, but definitely better than Hop. It's an extra, I don't know, it's a good supporter. It's not better than Marnie, it's not better than Research, so it's probably not gonna see play. It's probably not even better than Birdkeeper anyways. But it's one extra supporter, right, option that we have. Next up, we have Phoebe, where during this turn, damage from the attacks of your Pokemon VMAX are not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. This means with Phoebe, your Eternatus VMAX can now KO Zamazenta V. With Phoebe, your Centiskorch VMAX can now KO Zamazenta V, right? Zamazenta V and Decidueye, I guess, are the Pokemon that have the abilities that prevent VMAXs from damaging them. Therefore, playing 1 or 2 Phoebes along with Eldegoss could be a way to bypass this deck, or the mere existence of Phoebe might just push those cards completely out of the deck building process. Yeah, so pretty interesting card. It feels like it doesn't feel like there should be more things benefiting VMAXs. There should be things limiting VMAXs, but they want to continue to print support for VMAX Pokemon. And then finally we have Bruno, the supporter I was talking about. Pretty cool art here. And you shuffle your hand into your deck, and then you draw 4 cards. However, if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you draw 7 cards instead. So situational supporter, still not better than Research or Marnie, but in a single price deck, you might consider playing Bruno instead of Research, or maybe you don't go for Research, you go something like 4 Marnie, 3 Bruno to Research, something like that. Definitely the one with the most potential out of the ones released, and Cheryl as well, but Cheryl definitely needs a very specific way for the deck to be built. So yeah, pretty cool new cards. Thanks so much to Pokevich for providing the translations for these cards, and let me know what you think of these videos. You want to see more of these? I'm definitely willing to do this sort of analysis, right, on the cards, on the new cards, and imagine, right, and picture how they are going to affect the metagame. I won't always be right, just like I've said plenty of times that I was wrong about Mad Party. Mad Party definitely a legit deck. So yeah, that will be all for me. This video will also have a Poton Store code given out in it, so make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think of these new cards, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I do check to give out those codes. Thank you so much, and until next time, bye bye.